Hello again, Casa friends, and welcome to your Tuesday story. Have you ever heard that nursery rhyme about an egg called Humpty Dumpty? Chances are you probably have, because even though it's pretty old, it's also pretty famous. That means that people all over the world know it. It goes like this: Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again. A pretty short little rhyme, also with a sad ending. So, the name of today's story is called After the Fall, and it is about what happens in Humpty Dumpty's life after his famous, fateful fall from the wall. And here you can see on the cover, Humpty is plummeting to the earth after falling from his perch on the wall. By the way, I really like the illustrations in this book. That means the artwork. After the Fall, How Humpty Dumpty Got Back Up Again, a story by Dan Santat. The fact that there is no illustrator listed inside this book tells me that probably Dan Santat, who is the author, the person who wrote the book, also did the illustrations. My name is Humpty Dumpty. This was my favorite spot, high up on the wall. I know, it's an odd place for an egg to be, but I loved being close to the birds. Then, one day, I fell. I'm sort of famous for that part. Folks called it the Great Fall, which sounds a little grand. It was just an accident, but it changed my life. Here he is at the Kings County Hospital. Fortunately, all the king's men managed to put me together again. So there he is, coming out of the hospital after his fall with a few cracks, but he's intact, he's in one piece. Well, most of me, there were some parts that couldn't be healed up with bandages and glue. So here's Humpty lying on the floor of his bedroom, and it looks to me like he used to sleep on the top bunk, but now he's decided to sleep on the floor instead. Why do you think he might decide to do that? After that day, I became afraid of heights. Oh, there's your answer. I was so scared that it kept me from enjoying some of my favorite things. So it looks to me like Humpty Dumpty enjoys the cereal that is located on the top shelves of the grocery store, but he's too afraid of heights to climb the ladder to get them. So he's stuck with the cereal flavors that are on the bottom two shelves. For example, flax and chicken feed and sad clown and fiber flakes and grown-up food and leaves. Do any of you have leaves for breakfast? When he would rather be having more exciting cereals like Choco Duck and Free Toy and Tiger Crunch and Rainbow Bites. Poor Humpty. Oh, Sugar Elf. I walked past the wall every day, and I would think about climbing that ladder again. I really missed the birds and being high above the city, but I could never do it because I knew that accidents can happen. I eventually settled for watching the birds from the ground. It wasn't the same, but it was better than nothing. Then one day, an idea flew by. See him on the ground with his binoculars? Bird watching with his binoculars? Making planes was harder than I thought. It was easy to get cuts and scratches. But day after day, I kept trying and trying. So he's working hard towards a goal, even though he's having difficulties. Until I got it just right. So look at this amazing paper plane he's made. My plane was perfect, and it flew like nothing could stop it. I hadn't felt that happy in a long time. It wasn't the same as being up in the sky with the birds, but it was close enough. So look, his plane flies like a dream, swirling and twirling in loops. Unfortunately, accidents happen. So look at the expression on Humpty's face. You can tell by his expression that whatever happened wasn't good, right? They always do. Uh-oh, where's this paper airplane headed that he worked so hard to make? Over the wall. I almost walked away again, but then I thought about all the time I'd spent working on my plane and all the other things I'd missed. I decided I was going to climb that wall. But the higher I got, the more nervous I felt. I didn't want to admit it, but I was terrified. I didn't look up. I didn't look down. I just kept climbing, one step at a time. Until I was no longer afraid. Look, there he is at the top of the wall, victorious. He's conquered his fear. Maybe now you won't think of me as that egg who's famous for falling. Oh, crack, 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 crack. Something's happening to his egg. It's cracking, and what do you see poking out there? A few little feathers. Hopefully you'll remember me as the egg who got back up. And learned how to fly. So Humpty Dumpty ended up hatching into a beautiful bird who was no longer afraid of heights. Obviously, because what can he do now? That's right, he can fly. The end.